So, for those that are unaware, Dead by Daylight has launched their July 23rd Q&A questions and answers about the game, and I'm going to go ahead and cover them for everyone today. I'll be going from top to bottom in terms of everything that is answered, and I'll be listing the most frightening thing of all, my opinions. Ooh. But you can use this as a standard summary, or if you want to actually listen to my opinions, see if you agree, disagree, things like that. I have a feeling most of these questions will most likely be useless. Originally, I wasn't thinking of making this video, but there are some actual interesting things I want to talk about that they listed. But overall, most of this is going to be useless. Of course, if you want to look at it yourself and you don't want to watch a video, it is currently pinned onto the subreddit. Sadly, you have to use Reddit, so up to you. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and hop right in. First question by Sir Hembo Dilfington. I am not reading any other username. Are you ever going to do anything to improve the chat censor, or even just give us an option to turn it off? It's frankly terrible and censor words that shouldn't be censored, such as names of characters. It's an M-rated game, just let us disable it. You can see the downvotes have already started. This is always a question that comes up in the answers that we always work on improving it. It's designed to censor names, even those included in the game, for privacy reasons. We firmly believe that a chat filter is required. Unfortunately, not everyone is able to control what they say in in-game chat, and people should not have to face abuse from others in this way, and we do whatever we need to do to limit that. There is never going to be a perfect system like that recognizes what to filter out and what to not filter out, but we will continue to work on improving it to be more accurate. Now, something that I'm sure most of the comment section down here is not considering, is DDoS. Like IP address leaks, doxing, sorry. I don't know why I was saying DDoS. Doxing people is a problem for streamers. So if a streamer has it turned off because they want more clear communication in EGC, but then the person lists like their IP address and stuff like that, this currently censors it. And it would no longer censor it. That's why names of Dead by Daylight characters get censored, because of that reason. Personally, I don't think the chat censor matters. I don't really understand the point of this question. It was highly upvoted as well. I understand it is an M-rated game, but at the same time, if you want to have a full discussion with people, there is Discord and things like that, so I don't see this as a net negative. In November 2020, you guys announced a hit validation system that was later disabled, as it wasn't functioning properly at the time. Can you please clarify if this system is still active, or was it discontinued at some point? The hit validation isn't removed. It has been adjusted, though. I don't even need to read the rest of this. I don't know why this question has been asked. There are multiple examples of killers swinging through pallets. I posted a few into the YouTube short feed, and then not getting a hit at all. It's a big problem on Hunty, actually, where you can hit someone point blank with a hatchet and nothing happens. So it's not turned off, it's always buggy. Dead by Daylight is a very buggy game. Will you ever get customizable lobby backgrounds? You guys have no idea how much I miss the Silent Hill and all kill lobby backgrounds, lol. This is a feature request we've heard a lot recently, and we have certainly taken notice. I am in fact very annoying about it when I have the opportunity to be, because I believe in it. We share your feeling on the quality of those, and would love folks to get more in each of them. Our team really gets to have fun when making lobbies, and we love the work to be experienced and enjoyed by more folks for sure. We can't share any specifics right now on plans, as they are still in discussion, but stay tuned. So it seems like we are going to eventually get custom lobbies, which is fine. I'm pretty sure most people want this because when you're P100ing a character, people want the option to have the character's lobby in the background. So, okay. More customizations, never a bad thing. Do you plan on focusing on updates toward making a lot of the lesser popular general perks on Killer Survivor side more useful? I can already tell this reply is going to be we are continuously trying to update the game into a better spot. This is an ongoing effort with our perk updates. Yep, meaningless. This is meaningless. They do this every time people ask about perks. Waste of a question. As hard as it sounds, because older survivors will be given voice lines like the newer ones, I understand that the old survivors were voiced by behavior employees. Had a lot of fun adding voice and more character survivors over the past years, and certainly want to do more, make DBD feel as live as possible. Over time, we are planning on updating to add voice lines, but there are no constraints which may make it impossible for some. In the case of licenses, after we release a character, that's usually it, but opposite opportunities do arise that let us revise content. I'm gonna be real, as a streamer, I find it really annoying when the character tries talking over me in the game, especially when it's just like, get off my back. Sadako? I don't know Sadako, and why would I say Sadako? Fuck off! Like, things like that. It's annoying. So if they don't give us the option to turn them off, I don't really want more voice lines. I know that's a very, like, not immersive, you don't like fun type of opinion, but I want the option to turn it off, and unless I can turn it off, I don't like voice lines. It's why I have a P100 Nick Cage, and I don't play him, because he never shuts up. Alright. Would you guys ever consider releasing, like, a small video documentary on your process of designing characters and their stories? This is on my list. Have you been spying on my list? I agree that I think it'll be really interesting for people to see, and might surprise quite a few about how much actually goes on through this process. So they actually answered this question previously. They don't make these that often because they don't perform that well. It's like extra tidbits, and like dedicated people find it interesting, but at the end of the day, they don't get a lot of large numbers, so people don't really look at them. Can you give us an update on the Skull Merchant rework? Following the design previews we did, we got feedback, blah 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 blah. Where's the timeline? At this point, it's looking like sometime in 2026, so it did get pushed back. So if you are a Skull Merchant player, I have her P100. It is going to be 2026 at the latest, which means we are going about, at minimum, 6 more months of Skull Merchant being awful and top, or I guess bottom, 3 killer in the game. So, that sucks. Any chance in the near future we get a study and modify scratch marks in the killer stain from red to any other color? This is the reason I made this video. Short answer, yes, especially for scratch marks. We're targeting end of 2025, so this year, to customize color scratch marks. This is a change that I have been wanting since I started playing. Not only is this one of the most basic, bare bones accessibility options for colorblind people, this is also just a really nice quality of life feature to have. For instance, if you can change the mid-game, which this doesn't really show that you can, Ormond is very, very hard to see. Well, I guess a better example would be Coldwind. I meant to say Coldwind. Swapped it Ormond. Coldwind is a very, very, very hard to see red on map because it's very bright. If you run filters, which most streamers do to help their chats and viewers see, due to OBS and streaming and videos like naturally making things darker, it's very, very hard to see the color red. And if I click on more replies, the auras is also planned for this. I will most likely make the auras green, like a neon green or a dark blue, as I find those auras easier to see. And more importantly, if they let us differentiate auras, it could let you make generators and survivor auras a different color. And that's very, very important because sometimes when you use an aura reading perk, people hide behind gens because they know they're the same color as it, or it's a very, very slight difference in shade of red. So if they let you differentiate what you want things to look like, that could make it to where you actually get value out of perks like Barbecue without having to second guess and be like, oh, is there actually a survivor there, or is it just the gen looking weird? Things like that. Next question is that we have someone asking about the Trapper, which is fine, and they said that they're looking to update him. Now, here's the problem with updating Trapper. I have said this before, I will say this again, Trapper is one of the most boring killers to go against in the game. And I know, basic M1, how can he be boring? Because his entire power is if your teammates do not properly disarm the traps, or you have to loop in an area that you yourself did not personally check and you step into a trap, the only thing his power does is instantly end the chase. That's it. If you step into a trap, the chase is lost, you can't go on anymore, and it's over. And that's not interesting. The most fun part about this game, at least for me, is the chase aspect. And when your entire kit is relied on long ending chases immediately, it doesn't feel like you got outplayed, especially when it's in an area that you thought your teammates were checking. And if you're not in a Swift and you can't do callouts about where traps are, it's not fun. That being said, he does need some buffs. Being able to take the furthest trap away from you and automatically add it to your hand would be really, really nice. If it has like a cooldown of like 10-15 seconds, whatever that may be, that'd be perfect. However, I am worried because the only thing I hate more than Trapper himself is Eerie Coil Trapper, where you get punished for doing the counterplay. I hate any killer design that makes you get punished for doing the counterplay of that killer. Another example is Xenomorph, where if you grab the turret, you get hindered when trying to set it up. I don't like that because turrets spawn right next. One new answer. The Q&A finished. I don't like that because when you grab the turret, you're supposed to set them away from the tunnel, because when the Xenomorph leaves a tunnel, any turrets within a certain radius get killed off. They get turned off or whatever, so that you can't exit a tunnel and then instantly get turreted. So I don't like that. I will keep optimism about what these changes are, because I think they do acknowledge the Trapper is weak, and they do want to keep them simple, especially for new players. I don't think they're going to make Eerie Coil base kit, but I'm very, very much hoping that they don't. Any plans to make anniversary cakes usable across all characters? I can already guarantee you the answer is no. Not at the moment. Yeah, great. Most people want a shared inventory. I think that'd be a nice P100 reward. P100 character, get a shared offering pool. Items and add-ons are different. Good motivation, good excuse. The biggest role of the game right now is the new player experience. Do you have any plans to work to overhaul the tutorial system or add/rework general perks such that new players have access to better options from the very beginning? I'm glad that we do absolutely have plans for both improving the tutorial system and improving player accessibility of perks. I can't give away when this and more will happen, but we already made strides towards helping out new players with character trials and the quest system. Improving the new player experience has become a big focus for us in the coming year, with many changes that all players will benefit as well. Now, personal opinion, they should have done this with FNAF. FNAF is by far the biggest chapter I personally think we'll ever get for this game. I'm biased, I was born in 2004, so to me that is my childhood horror game. I am extremely nervous about them possibly not getting as many new people to try it out. The current tutorial doesn't even go over what hex totems are, which is both funny and sad, but I digress. This does also kind of convey about improving player accessibility of perks, not improving the perks themselves but how to get them. So we will most likely receive a rework to Shrine of Secrets, and with the 10th anniversary coming up, I would imagine they're probably going to launch it at the same time, as a nice way for new players who might come in for the anniversary to get a new tutorial, as well as see what the Shrine of Secrets are, which does need an overhaul. Mintskulls has an excellent video from a year or two ago about the new player experience. It takes a while if you're a free-to-play. Well, free to play as much as it can be. This one's just about new limited time modes, about how they want to add more, but it's currently on the back burner for other priorities, which I would love if they gave us a priority list of what they are prioritizing right now, like new content, reworks, things like that. But I'm not a fan of modes and modifiers. The anniversary one has lasted way too long, and I think everyone can kind of agree that's not really that fun because of the remote pallet breaking. As Survivor just results in you getting hit, and as Killer is just why would you not use it? It's a free hit. So I don't like it. I also don't like 2v. I have a whole video on why I don't like 2v. I'll wait till the next version to see if it's better, but it's whatever. Is there any new news on the Swamp update? March 2020, or sorry, no, never mind. They pushed the Swamp map back. It is going to be, Swamp will not come out. Keep in mind, Swamp was originally planned for January of 2024 to be reworked, and now it is pushed back until after March 2026, which is the Paragraph Survivor chapter. That is going to be a new evolution or whatever about, or a reformat of a prior chapter. But the overall idea right now is Trickster, where it's oh, it's gonna be the Trickster map. Everyone wanted one of those, but we don't actually know anything yet, and we will most likely not know anything until around February. Of course, leaks are leaks. I will cover those in the weekly DBD short news. And then plans to give the prop systems a purpose to encourage players to be more positive about their teammates/adversaries. Currently, the thumbs up and reporting are centralized on the same button in-game. We're looking to untangle the two and update both the commendation and reporting systems separately, providing tools to foster a positive environment. This may take some time to achieve all the goals, and we want for the two systems, but expect to see small steps made toward these improvements. This is probably going to be like Overwatch give props. We'll see, but there's not really much else to delve into. I do fear that people won't give props to the killer maybe plays to win, but I know some people prioritize fun over winning, and some people get winning is fun, so it's a whole different mindset. Any plans to create maps that with more unique themes and layouts, such as urban maps or waterside maps? March 2026. Alright, we'll see what they come up with. Will I ever get a chance to see our teammates' perks? Actively working on this targeting spring 2026. Oh god. There are several potential issues that we have to consider, like disconnecting players who may go next, etc., and want to get it right to encourage positive behavior within a survivor group. I can already tell you, this will get delayed. This is probably going to be 2027. And the reason I say that is because if you are, say you're a player who likes to win, you got sprint, right now the meta is like sprint burst, vigil, unbreakable, DS on. You're like, I'm here to win, I want to get out, we're going to get this 4-man escape. You load in, you look to the left of you, you see a Leon with Soul Survivor on. You don't even look at any of the perks, you just see a Leon with Soul Survivor. If you are that player with a meta build, chances are you most likely immediately back out. Just anyone that's off meta, like if they have Urban Evasion, Appraisal, Adrenaline isn't what it used to be, Blast Mine, Chem Trap, you're gonna get a lot of people who lobby dodge over it. So I think instead of adding an overall system for seeing players' perks, they should instead just buff perks to let people know that they have them. You have a UI system that shows you, like, when you're healing each other, if you're on hook with Deliverance, just put Deliverance's icon there, or make their hook glow yellow. I'd rather have the icon so people can know that a perk is in play, and then that is a learning experience for, like, what perks look like what for new players. Are there any plans to look at the bloat of add-ons and offerings? Many of these serve little purpose and could do with an overhaul. Our goal when it comes to add-ons specifically is to review them to ensure they provide value. A good example of this is the recent PTB with the Executioner add-on pass. For survivor items, we're looking to reduce the amount of add-ons per item, as seen with the key and map update. As for offerings, we believe the system itself needs an overhaul, which is an ongoing discussion internally. So it's been like 2 years since the P100 update came out. They said that they would change the really bad BP offerings in like the brown and now green and used to be yellow tiers that no one really uses because they're kind of just a waste of a spot. And those haven't been changed yet or deleted. So the chances are is that is most likely why is that they're overdoing the offering thing entirely. I wouldn't mind if they took blood point offerings out of the offering slot and instead just tied it to devotion or some other mechanic for extra blood points. Because then the offering slot is actually, you know, like a competitive slot to use and it's part of your build instead of just, I want bonus BP. But at the same time, I also love having like all the anniversary offerings. I'm curious what they'll come up with, but saying that it's still an ongoing discussion internally tells me we won't be seeing anything until late 2026 or 2027. Vacation. DBD League recently received an official endorsement from Behavior, which is cool, although I wish it was a different league. Any word on what that might look going forward? There are currently no plans to run our own tournaments. These take an extraordinary amount of work, and we've been able to see with working closely with DBD League and Champions of the Fog, both which receive our report. This basically just sums up that they're going to improve custom matches for those tournament players that play in competitive settings, or just people who like to run tournaments for fun, but they won't be running any themselves, which I think is fair and, you know, leave it up to the community to decide balance. There's people who want Behavior balance this game with like a perk point system or shit. Oh my god, having that amount of trust in Behavior is crazy to me. These guys just buffed Vigil to 66%, and you can get Sprint Burst back in like 10 seconds. Ignore my water. I'm thirsty. Why is MMR hidden? The point of MMR is purely for matchmaking purposes. It was never intended to be the driving force behind the game. Fun is the #1 factor. I'm gonna take this with a little bit of salt, because while they say fun is the #1 factor, they also remove some fun things like verticality, adding invisible walls, things like that. And the old matchmaking system worked just fine for that, but whatever. Although the recent Blood Moon event went pretty bad, I still like the idea of the gas cans. Will there ever be another event or maybe something in normal mode added where there will be other ways of escaping other than just doing generators? DBD has been built around generators for a very long time, so it isn't easy to completely move away from the mechanic with all the dependencies. However, while we can't promise anything, adding variety on that aspect is something we definitely hope to achieve. You probably noticed we are trying new objective types in some events, like Blood Moon 2025. We definitely aim to do more of this in the future. This sounds perfect. I actually really liked the Blood Moon event. I think the problem was that you could do the new gens too fast, and it made killer powers bug out, and perks didn't work, and things like that. But if they're willing to keep trying, I'm willing to keep giving them chances. New mechanics in this game will always be a fun thing as a dedicated player. Have you guys thought about reworking the Shrine of Secrets? 9% of the time it rotates worthless perks that nobody wants. The general engagement and usage of Shrine of Secrets have been very satisfying so far, but we know we have a portion of our community more engaged, and we're not seeing enough value from it. Our economy design team is looking at how to find sweet spots for this group. Oh, so that thing earlier for tutorials means they're not changing the Shrine of Secrets? That's concerning. I never used the Shrine personally. Literally my entire DBD career, I always just saved up for a character. Because even it's less expensive now because they made some characters cheaper, but it used to be more expensive to do that, but you get an entire character. That's concerning. They should change it. Once a week for a Shrine of Secrets refresh is really long. During the anniversaries every day. I feel like they should go with that. Will you get more licensed characters in 2v8? Why are we asking this? The answer is going to be yeah. Will the licensed maps only be portions on pre-existing realms going forward, like how the Pizzeria and the D&D dungeon are on original realms as opposed to full maps like the RPD, Lamkin Rain, and Hawkins Lab? This is a fun one to answer. We know players are a huge fan of these full maps to give the most accurate experience for the licenses as possible. I can't say future licensed maps will always be in pre-existing realms, but that will vary case by case where it makes sense to the player base and the respective license. That's fair. I don't really like, most of the licensed maps are kind of bad, I'm gonna be honest, so that's fine. I personally love RPD as an RE fan. Crazy statement. Any plans for more updates to Michael Myers? Yes. Again, this is something that annoys me about the Q&As, is that I understand this is an easy question for them to answer, and it makes it look like they're communicating. Yes, behavior is actively always doing an ongoing balance trains for every perk and killer and mechanic in the game. I would much rather, for people that actually put in questions for this, if you ask about new mechanics or certain text that should get fixed and things like that we don't have clear answers on. But yes, behavior is always working to update every killer. Myers is most likely takes a long time because of the licensed dealer having some sweat. Licensed skin? No point in that question. And news you can share about possible P100 rewards? Soon! Okay, for real now, yes soon, but we're working on unique player badges earnable per character or varying levels of frames as players prestige higher, with the fanciest, most show-off worthy being at P100. Here is my problem with this. Is it better than nothing? Yes. Is it the best that it could be? No. I do like that its varying levels of prestige get you different stuff. That's fine. What I don't like is that it is only a badge. A badge is already a slot that you can get from the Rift, events, logins, money spending, things like that. And it's a very, congested spot. You only get one badge. So, for me, I'd like to run the trans badge. I understand that there's currently not a banner for it. You have an overall Pride banner. So having to choose between that, Rift, and then also a P100 award for all my 9 P100s as of right now. I'm working on a 10th, and Legion is really, really close to being that one, but Orwella's at P60. So I'm almost to 11 P100s. Having to choose between all of them is kind of annoying. And I'd rather have a full-on cosmetic. In a prior Mandy post on the forums, they already confirmed we're not getting cosmetics for the P100 awards, and I believe they possibly fully listed because of license holders. Hot take, I do not care for licenses in this game that much. If licenses have to get nothing so that all of your OG characters can get full-on skins, that is a price that I think everyone would be willing to pay. I have P100 licensed characters. I have Demo and Nicolas Cage P100. I would not care if they got nothing. I understand for a lot of license-heavy people, that would be a disappointing thing to have happened, but I'd rather we get more OG character promotion than the licensed stuff. Also, licensed content, it's a whole... I should probably make a full video on my opinions about licensed content, but it's like licensed content also gets removed. We just lost Hellraiser, and Stranger Things was removed for a little bit, and the Attack on Titan skins still aren't back. So it's like, even if they got a P100 award on character, there's a chance the character gets removed. So. There's still plans to have legendary outfits include more than just the cosmetic. I'm assuming, yes, cool. Are we going to do anything at all to the ghoul? The ghoul is on our radar. We are aware there's some friction points which we'd like to address. However, given the fact they still new to the roster, we're taking the necessary time to review everything before setting things in stone. Good. It should take like at least 6 months before changing stuff. However, this is another reason I made this, is that they made a follow-up reply about kidnap tech, which was here, where they said this was intentional. For those that don't know, the kidnap tech is when you vault over a pallet, you grab onto the survivor gets stuck in the animation while you vault the pallet so they can't do anything, and you get a free hit. This is, of course, not fun for the survivor, and as ghoul, when you're playing ghoul, it's just like, oh, freebie, pop. I'm hoping they misinterpreted this question, because that is the most annoying part about ghoul, is ghoul players who do this. Now, that being said, I also don't think ghouls should be able to vault pallets at all. It is the most boring part about facing a ghoul, and it's the excuse of just, like, greed the pallet or pre-drop or whatever. I don't care. It's not fun. There's a reason Chucky had his removed. There's a reason Wesker has to rely on the environment and can't do it as cleanly, and there's a reason Legion can't even down in their power. Ghoul has a shorter cooldown than Legion, and it's very annoying. Whatever. Who was your favorite original killer and least favorite killer designs? I don't care. Are you planning to add chat support for console players? Not currently planned. Sorry, console players? But it seems like they're kind of working on it. I don't know. We'll see what they make. I would hope this is low on the priority list, because I'm not a console person, but I feel like there's other ways to communicate on console, but I feel like this should be low. Like, compared to other things, I feel like that should be low. What is the reason behind the changes to Knight and Clown on the PTB? For the Clown, the intention was to make yellow bottles more useful, while making purples less dominant in his kit. We're hoping this will encourage using both bottles more often. For the Knight, it was mostly quality of life. We tried lowering the standard spawn time in hopes that would make him less oppressive in sandwich scenarios, but it didn't pan out. The upcoming release, there are some changes on the PTB. The Clown's purple bottles are being adjusted, and we reverted the gas spread changes, as well as some of the add-on changes. When it comes to Knight, we reverted the standard spawn time changes. We're thankful for all the wait, that's it for the Knight? Oh, that's concerning. I don't think... Yeah, I feel bad. I don't think Knight players are going to be happy that that might be the only thing they change. We'll wait till Tuesday, because the chapter comes out on the 29th for the full list, but I can already tell the Knight changes are not going to go over well. And I think the Clown, for making the yellow bottles activate so fast, is also going to make him a bit brainless to play still. We'll see what they do, but this doesn't seem good for those killers. I have a P100 Clown, too. How the software dev cycle looks like over there at Behavior. While not everything is where we want to be, we do have a kick-ass production team that keeps us to schedule. Standard business. Do you have any plans to go back and record voice lines for older characters? It's no small effort to go back and do voice lines for all those characters. This was answered earlier. I guess this guy didn't see the other question. I'm gonna do anything about slugging for 4K. Please! With an upcoming update, we'll be testing some changes to slugging on a PTB. Our intention isn't to punish slugging as a form of pressure, but rather give survivors a means to get out of extreme slugging situations. That is so hit or miss. I guarantee you part of this is because they've seen 4 survivors slugged and everyone just used the abandon system to go next. I guarantee you that's part of the reason they're doing this. But this is such a slippery slope about nerfing slugging super hard. Because, like, imagine for Huntress, right? And this is my best example for why I don't like this. Imagine you down a survivor halfway across the map. right? With a good snipe hit. Takes skill, you have to do some equal pacing, even with ore reading, you still have to adjust for, like, anything in the way, things like that. Kind of hard to do against good serves. If the anti-slugging thing does impact like that, like tenacity base kit, you just lose that survivor. You can't find them by the time you get over there because she doesn't have any map mobility. Suddenly, Huntress loses the entire fun aspect of her kit in terms of downs. And then you have that for every single killer, like Twins, you have to swap to Charlotte, then crawl back. Oni, you have to, his entire thing is snowballs, Bubba, things like that. It's such a slippery slope. I'm extremely worried for that PTB. But I will hold out some optimism. The proxy camp and anti-tunnel stuff has been pretty good so far, for the most part, with some very niche circumstances, so we'll see. Or there will be another graphical update. Yes. At some point. Is there any way to get a tweak to bulk BP spinning in the future? No, that just came out. They are not going to... That's not to say we won't ever do it, but it's not in the plans right now. It just came out. This is something that people don't seem to understand. Yes, while they just release a system, they usually wait a bit before tackling it so they can get other issues. I think this is just fine. I noticed that over time, Dead by Daylight seems to be shifting away from stealth-oriented gameplay. Has there been a design philosophy change behind this direction? The players. We don't intend on learning stealth gameplay, but we want to embrace the direction our players have taken the game, as we believe in a player-first approach. That's fine. Chasing is the fun part for me. And plans to release a Switch too. Yes, I would imagine. Will game rule customization ever be added for private lobbies? It's not out of the question. It really is a matter of bandwidth and priorities. We have a list of further things that we'd like to change in custom lobbies, and we're gradually able to start implementing them. It will be done over a period of time, starting in this next update. I forgot what they're changing in the custom lobbies next update, because I don't really use customs that much, but it should be nice. We'll see. Have you guys considered not letting Hexstone spawn until their effect has triggered at least once? Oh god. Yes. Oh god. It's something we've discussed and would like to do, as we think it'll make hexes feel better to use. It says along other things. If they do a complete totem rework, that's fine. However, this is something that annoys me about people. The entire purpose of a hex perk is that it is a strong effect that can get removed at any point in the game at any time. The main problem with these perks is killers like Ghoul and Singularity have an easy time camping the totem for good effects without having to really worry about it. But that's how they function. Like, the entire purpose of a hex is that it's a good build, it's a good perk that can get removed. And I hate that people keep trying to change that. I know most of the newer totems activate later on in the match, but like, you can't tell me it's a good idea to not let Devour show itself on a totem until it has 2 stacks. Because then you only need 3 more hooks, and like, usually you find out by the 3rd token. It's just, that's such a strong totem. That might promote anti-totem perks though. So, give and take. Will you ever add a last man standing event mode or anything similar? I have no idea what that could mean. What's the name of Houndmaster's poodle? Isn't it still Snug? No. Anyone's honest being able to gift skins through the in-game store. We have a design for the gifting system. That's actually nice. I like this because it lets you like gift skins to friends or people you know. And this will actually be really nice for like people in the creator program who get extra org cells with creator codes, which I don't think they're launching any more creator codes until early 2026. They will introduce more people into the program. It's a whole thing, and it's kind of blurry, and the people who run that program have been on vacation, so no one's been added outside of pre-approved people, so it's, but whatever. So this will be nice. I don't know. April 2026, before 10th anniversary. Probably a good spot to put it. Is it possible for the game engine to be updated, or has it been not worth it? The game engine is being updated in the next release. Huh? Really? That might fix a lot of key issues, actually. That was not set. I was wondering why that PTB was like 40, 60 gigs, dude. Alright. We'll see what happens there. If that fixes things, that'd be huge, but I'm gonna keep pessimistic this time. The last time they updated the engine, Unreal Engine 2, Unreal Engine 5 was with Unknown, and Huntress has been bugged since. So, concerned. What do y'all think of adding an incentive for the least played killers? I feel like that's a bad idea. I don't know. It seems like they're saying no for like changing them, but I don't think that gets so blurry because some of the least played killers are twins, and I guarantee you, if you winners faced twins more often, you'd be miserable. That killer is miserable to go against when they're good. Any word on more monstrous killers? Yeah. Is there any plan for previous deep rifts to come to the store? Currently, no. But they might do it because they change how the rift works. Fair enough. As a dedicated player, I would like if I, got a reward for being dedicated, so I'm not huge on deep rifts coming to the store, but if they did, whatever. Since the Tokyo Ghoul chapter... Oh, this is Hex. I already know what this is about. Hex is a friend of mine. They also made Huntress. This is about Huntress's bugs. people reached out with some impressive Excel docs to list out the bugs. The lot by one is not on my list. The form bug report section would be the best way that we can get that looked into. Whatever. The other, not just for Huntress. In the next release. I'm assuming this is not Tuesday, because they were not listed fixed in the PGB. So I'm going to assume this is September with the new killer. So we have about 2 months, 2.5 months, until my killer gets fixed. And she's been bugged extremely bad since Unknown. God, dude. Keep in mind, Behavior put out a player satisfaction survey that people filled out about, like, oh, what bugs should we prioritize? And, dude, it was so funny to look through it. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I want you to fix my killer, dude. Tell the amount cons for the Singularity community skin would be added. Yes, okay. Are there plans to limit the max use of fog vials? This is important for accessibility. The fog vial cooldown mechanic is a unique twist to how survivor items function in Dead by Daylight. This gives survivors a chance for trial and error. From the PTB, we have made some changes to the fog vials. Notably, we decreased the opacity from the Versurial add-on, that's good, as well as added some downsides to it, uptime and maximum size, that's good. There are additional changes, so when they hit the live servers, try them out. This is going to be an accessibility nightmare, and I'm going to absolutely hate this item till the end of time, and I can already tell my killer queues are going to be so fast, which also means that survivor queues are going to be long, so it's going to be really easy to get not tryhards every game. Why does it take so long to add the cosmetic contest winners? Because they have to make the cosmetic. So this just goes into their time frame of making stuff. It takes about 8 months for making an outfit. That's normal. This question, I think everyone at some point needs to go into like learning how video game companies work, because most games are like years into development. Like a cosmetic takes 8 months, and Behavior is one of the best gaming companies to work for because they let you take time off like no tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they have 4-day work weeks. You get time off whenever you ask, as long as you like do work to get it, things like that. Like, they're great. So yeah. Are there any plans to balance out the injured grunts and out of breath panting across survivors? Whether our 5 Nights at Freddy's release, our audio team performed a full pass through all the survivor volumes. I don't remember that. That's crazy. Some survivors are still extremely loud compared to others. I mean, I have noticed a little bit that... Dude, I thought my audio was bugged. That's interesting. I didn't realize that they did that. I'm sure after this question goes out, some people will actually further test it and see if it actually is true, but we'll see. With vaulting and getting hit, I'm a little unsure which areas you're referring to. That's fair. The noises the survivor makes when jumping over a vault, assuming you mean the fast vault, is standard across all survivors, so there should be no change there at all. That's interesting. That might be something worth actually going into. That seems to be everything, but when I got here, it said that they answered new stuff. So if we go to their official account and go to their comments section, they answered 2 more questions. let's open those two up in other tabs. I guess this time. Doing this, okay. So the reason they did the P100 stuff is so that it can be for all characters. No, it's whatever. That's fair. I get it. They want to include every character. I'm not huge on it. I feel like some characters could be skipped, but I understand that's just me. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't really have much else to say because we covered everything in time, and it seems they are finished. So unless they go back and answer more questions, which I don't think they will, that seems to be it. Hopefully next update, not with The Walking Dead, but the update after, brings the P100 awards. Because you'll be able to view the P100 awards, I'd imagine, through the files or something. So I'll be able to actually look at and see what they are. It'll also let people know if they want to level up a character just for the badge or not. If it's like level P10 gets you the first badge, I might get all my characters to P10 just for that, especially if it's for everybody. But we'll see. I have some, I hope they keep expanding on prestige rewards, because one of the things I want in this game, it's one of my biggest videos ever, is a devotion change to make devotion give something. As like a veteran player who plays a lot, it's really important to me that like they recognize dedicated players who have thousands of hours in their game, that they get something. Because currently, you don't really get anything. And that's where I'm going to end it today. Keep in mind, Walking Dead releases on Tuesday. Should be a good release. Have a good night.